Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here, and this is going to be the last video of 2020. We have done something a bit differently this year. We are breaking things down because there's a ton to talk about, a ton to cover. Didn't want to cut anything short, and I had this idea of, hey, you know what? Let's chill in front of a fire, virtual fireplace, and let's chat about this roller coaster slash dumpster fire slash God knows what that is 2020. So we've talked pretty much about the year 2020. The good, the bad, the ugly, the games, the accessibility, the events and launches, and all that stuff. So we're going to wrap up this year by taking a look at maybe what could happen in 2021. What am I looking forward to? What might I predict? Those types of things. So let's just get started. So yeah, 2021. Well, we had the Game Awards a couple weeks ago, and there is a game that just jumped way up high on my wish list, on my anticipated list, and I have a good feeling about it. I hope it's not going to be another Doom Eternal. But boy, there was rumors of it for a while, but we got confirmation. Back 4 Blood exists. Yep, a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, made by the original developers that made the first game. I'm still trying to reach out to them to ask about accessibility, and if I can consult with them on it, if I can help them in any way, dang right I'm gonna. So not only did they officially announce the game, they had a kind of an overview, like a story trailer that you would see at the beginning of the game, like in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. They had a gameplay trailer, and yes, it could get delayed, but it seems like they're pretty far into it. They announced a June 22nd, 2021 release date. Yes, we got an official release date for the game, and it looks like it is pretty far along and then on top of all that, they said, by the way, next week, as of the Game Awards, we're going to have a 4 or 5 day closed beta. Sign up. I signed up. I got in. I played it a little bit, didn't do any video content for it, but I watched some other people's content as well. The main thing that I really didn't care for in the demo or the beta that they had was just I felt a little bit uncomfortable playing with randos, random people, because there's so many mechanics and things that I'm trying to figure out visually. And you know how gamers are. Like, your average random gamer is just like this this hateful hate spewing people. I just didn't want to deal with that, on top of everything else going on. So I played it a little bit. I got, I got to feel some of the mechanics, the weapons, that kind of a thing. I watched some other videos. I watched some other breakdown videos of it. And what's there is cool. Like, I have no doubt in my mind the final version of this is going to be good. They're going to have AI bots. They've already confirmed it, so we can play solo or we can play with friends and make up the difference with AI bots. So we're going to be fine there. We're going to have campaigns. We're going to have 8 playable characters. There's going to be cards. This card system that's sort of interesting, although that's like the hardest thing for me to see right now. So text-to-speech would be very, very helpful there, or larger text on those cards. Both would be nice. There's going to be versus mode, just like there was in Left 4 Dead. There's probably going to be other modes we don't know about. Maybe there'll be a survival mode. I don't know. But there's just enough differences. They kind of put in some of the things that were in Evolved and Left 4 Dead. So there's kind of a combination. There's these giant behemoth creatures now. I can't remember what they're called, but there's going to be multiple different varieties of them. But yeah, it looks good. It looks exactly what I would expect a spiritual successor of Left 4 Dead to look like. Back 4 Blood absolutely one of my most anticipated games of 2021. Can't wait to play it. Awesome. Upgrading my PC. That is going to be one thing. I thought I was going to try to do it earlier this year or sometime this year once the GeForce cards came out, but everything with scalpers and unavailability of everything, I'm either going to have a PC built or I've got a couple of these potential, like there's some pre-built ones that from a local shop of mine that I can get in on maybe, but again, there's no parts, so looking at that. But sometime probably within the first half of the year, I would imagine I'm probably going to be upgrading my rig again, get my 3080 in there. We're going to go pretty much for games and operating system, all SSD drives, which is going to kill me because my primary drive is going to be NVMe SSD, which is fast. I'm probably going to go regular SSD with my games data drive because just NVMe is a lot more expensive, especially when you roll into the 2 to 4 terabyte range, which, as big as some games are, that's the minimum I'm really willing to accept. I've got 2 4 terabyte drives, regular hard drives in my current computer for data, for videos, for other stuff, for games, but no, as big as some of these other games are getting, I really need that. And then I'm thinking about putting in a regular 7200, I don't know, anywhere between 4 and 8 terabytes, because those are cheap. But putting one of those drives in there so I can dump videos onto it and have it as a regular data drive. So there'll be a lot of storage in that thing. And like I said, all the SSDs and the video card are what's going to kill me. This is going to be, because again, I want to run VR content. I don't want to upgrade it off and on. That's not the way I generally roll. I have a computer, high-end computer built. I use it for 5-6 years and then move on to the new one. So I kind of want to future-proof it. Kind of want it to run everything well. So yeah, this one, because it's a high-end gaming rig. If I wasn't doing VR and gaming, God, I can get a really nice SSD machine for like $500 to $1,000. But the few things that I really want to do with it, it just goes up exponentially, and we're looking at a couple grand probably by the time we get everything done. So yeah, the storage and video card are going to kill me. So yeah, PC upgrade. PS5 purchase. I really wasn't that interested before the console came out, but then I learned about the Spider-Man accessibility improvements. I learned about the full screen reader support in the PS5, that it was actually there. I can play all my PS4 games on the PS5, so I'm like, if I could get one, I will, I think, and then get rid of my PS4, because really, there's nothing on there that I really can't play on my PS5, and so I might just see if I can sell or do something with my PlayStation 4. And then just have a more fully accessible console going forward for Sony. So, when availability becomes good for that, I may pick up one of those. Halo Infinite got delayed, and we found out it's not coming out till next fall, which was what I sort of expected anyway. I'm very curious to see what this game is going to be. The last couple games, I started out Halo 1 and 2, really liked, especially the first one. Halo 3, I liked, I beat. Halo 4 and 5, I beat ODST. I don't remember if I beat Halo Reach. But Halo 4 and 5, I played, but I just didn't get into them as much, so I haven't finished them. I am curious to see what Halo Infinite is going to be, because it seems like they're sort of open worldizing it a little bit. It just seems like they're trying some different things, which is good because, again, the Halo games have kind of meh the last couple of years. The last couple games in the series haven't been quite as exciting for a lot of people. So looking forward to seeing what that's going to be. Resident Evil The Village. Not sure when that's coming out, but people are thinking earlier this year or early next year. I guess it's sort of a direct sequel to Resident Evil 7, that crazy first person game I showed you guys on the channel. You got like the evil redneck people from hell that are apparently infected with something, and you got zombies and monsters, and welcome to the family, son. I think you play as the same character, but then there's other stuff going on, and very curious to see what that's going to be. So that's going to be a first-person Resident Evil. Probably have to check that out. Trepang 2. You know, that demo was early this year, late last year. Haven't heard much of it since, or much from it since. But it really reminds me a lot of the original Fear, First Encounter Assault Recon. It's got bullet time, it's got weapons, it's got snarky enemies, it's got a pretty great shotgun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Really hope it does well. That is another really anticipated one for me. Trepang 2. Metal Hellsinger. This is that other rhythm game I mentioned in the last video. Rhythm-based first-person shooter. It looks awesome. It doesn't, it's not a roguelike game. As far as I know, it's actually like a campaign. You're fighting enemies, you're fighting bosses. It's got actual metal musicians coming in, doing songs and with vocals, and it just looks rad. I really, really want one of these games to be good, because BPM had promised. That was the first one I saw. That came out in 2020. As much as I wanted to like it, I really just didn't, or I really just had trouble with it. So I really want Metal Hellsinger to be good, because it just looks so fun. More on that to come. I put these on there. I highly doubt they're going to come out in 2021, but Microsoft could surprise us for a later in the year release. I think because they have Halo next fall, I don't know that either of these games will be, but just the fact that they exist. We're getting a new Perfect Dark. Don't know anything about it. We're getting a new Fable game. Again, both Microsoft series that I really liked. Fable 1 and 2 were great. The original Perfect Dark was great on the N64, and then the XBLA game. Perfect Dark 2, was it Perfect Dark 0? Not so much. That one wasn't very good. But I'm curious to see. It looks like, again, they're trying something different with this one. I don't know if it's going to be. Again, everything's going open world. I kind of hope that it doesn't, but we'll see what that game does. Perfect Dark and Fable, that's really all we know. Ratchet and Clank. If I get a PS4, and I wonder if they're going to add any accessibility features to this game, because boy howdy, that is the game. If that would have launched with the PS5, that would have sold some consoles, because it's a long running series. People love it. It's action, it's platformer, it's fun, it's got crazy weapons, it's just ridiculous. And they're doing this like this dimensional thing. You're going through these rifts in real time. I mean, graphically, it looks like, with ray tracing and everything, it looks freaking incredible. This is your next gen game. I mean, this game just looks like wow. We've seen gameplay footage of it. There's this new female Wombax character we don't know much about. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what that's going to be. I never did really beat any of the older ones, but a roommate of mine was really into them, and he played them, so I saw a lot of them through him. But this one, definitely intrigued about. Deathloop. This is kind of it seems like an open world-esque first-person shooter. You're this contract killer. You're trying to kill all these people. But then you have this other assassin trying to assassinate you throughout the whole game. And you kind of learn, like, oh, you learn this person's going to be here. You learn this event is going to happen this way. And you kind of plan. It's kind of like you repeat your certain days over and over again until you sort of figure out the whole story, figure out the right way to kind of eliminate everybody without getting killed yourself. Really neat art style. Just really sort of curious to see how this is going to be. So Deathloop, that's another one that's pretty up there on my intrigued list. God of War Ragnarok. Again, the PS4 God of War, the kind of reimagining. I started playing it. I haven't finished it. I really need to, but it was just a really neat game, and they're continuing that series. It was a really good looking game. It felt pretty good to play. Very much looking forward to seeing what that one's going to be. Don't know much of anything about it, but God of War. Gotham Knights. So we've had the Arkham games before. I really do need to make a video for especially the original Batman Arkham Asylum. Arkham City and stuff I played a little bit of those, but Arkham Asylum was such a neat game for its time. But this time you're not playing Batman, you're playing a bunch of the other people like Nightwing and Robin and I forget the other two, but looks to be another kind of open world combat single player or two player co-op game. Could be fun. I've seen a little bit of gameplay of it. It looks pretty good. Hogwarts Legacy. I know there's been a lot of hubbub with Harry Potter fans and J.K. Rowling being a total dink about like trans rights and some of the other things that she said. But I mean, you know, the people that are working on the game really, they even came out and said that they really don't have really much affiliation, or they're not working with J.K. Rowling directly. And you know, I know you don't want to support work, you know, from a shitty artist, but especially when they're kind of like, you know, other companies are, you know, doing things that are kind of separated from it. There's also a lot of people that are genuinely working hard and want to do right by the franchise, who are, you know, making a living themselves. You know, and hopefully that seems to be reflected. But this is kind of like an open world action RPG set at Hogwarts in the 1800s. Kind of intrigued to see what that's going to be like. So, you know, there's been little gameplay clips. Don't know much about the story or even really who you play. But I am potentially interested because I do rather enjoy the Harry Potter series. Ghostwire Tokyo. I think this is first person. It's an action game shooter or something. I mean, there's a lot to it, but it just looks really neat. I believe this is a Bethesda outfit too, so I'm just really intrigued. I don't know a lot about it, but everything I've seen on it looks quite good, and I really want to learn more about how this game plays and what it's going to be like, because it looks really entertaining. Horizon Forbidden West. I have Horizon Zero Dawn. I have not gotten to play it yet. I have it on the PlayStation 4 and I got it on PC on sale. So I have it there. I think hopefully they've patched the PC version, because I've heard at launch it was a little rough. But it is a really cool, like, open world-ish third-person action game. You play this Aloy lady, and you're fighting these kind of combination robot dinosaur things and monsters and stuff that's just got this really neat aesthetic to it. I definitely want to get around to that first game and play the second one. Returnal, don't know a lot about it, but again, this is another one that sort of has this, I think, like a time looping mechanic of some sort, and it looks pretty darn interesting. I want to learn more about that. And a lot of these games are either, like, a lot of these have been PlayStation games, some Xbox, but most of them are also coming to the PC, so I've heard. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, especially on the Sony side, how many things come to the console, but also the PC, because, boy, for the most part, Like God of War probably won't. The Naughty Dog game, whatever they do next, might not. There might be a few that don't, but like a lot of them that I've heard of that I've listed here, I believe are also coming to the PC. So who knows? Be interesting again to see what's going to happen with that. Scorn, I don't know about this game. It's a first-person like shooter, but horror puzzle game. There's horror, there's puzzles, there's shooting, but it's got this really weird, like dark, like gross. There's a lot of weird, like organic things in this. I don't even know where you are, but I've seen a little bit of gameplay footage of it, and it just looks bizarre. And I'm just genuinely intrigued what this is actually going to end up being, what the story is going to be like, how much of it is, are you going to have to really manage your resources? Is it going to play more like a shooter with some puzzles, more like a horror game? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I want to learn more. Psychonauts 2. This sucker has been in development for a long time, and I'm hoping now that especially that Double Fine is getting, or that they've been acquired by Microsoft, maybe they'll have enough resources to really finish this thing off in 2021. The first game was a really unique action platformer. I really didn't get the controller to work. I got to see if I can get the original PC version to work, because I'd love to show that game to you guys a little bit. There were just so many unique levels. I mean, there was this cool Tron-esque Godzilla level. There was you're in these people's mind. Like you're this kid psychic. They're at this camp, and you have the ability to go into people's minds and like solve their problems and explore. And like each level is just totally different. There's like this milkman conspiracy level, which is great. Like I said, the King Kong Goggalore-esque mission, that was really funny. There was this board game level that was really neat. I mean, there's just so many. They really took the 3D platformer and really turned it on its head a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the heck this game, the sequel, is gonna have in it. So Psychonauts 2, very much looking forward to that. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. These are not just a remastering of all the old Star Wars games, but they're actually doing like a full new Lego game series where you play through different parts of all 9 episodes. And this one, it's not just like gibberish. I guess it's like some of the later Lego games where they have full voice acting. So yeah, I'm just kind of, that's kind of one of these, not super high on my list, but I definitely do want to check it out. Kina, Bridge of Spirits. This seems to be some sort of like a third-person action exploration combat game. Don't know a whole lot about it, but from the little bit of gameplay footage I've seen, again, looks pretty interesting. This is a PS4 or PS5 and I believe PC game, and I think it's coming out pretty early in the year, so kind of looking forward to seeing what that is. Elden Ring. This is kind of another From Software game, which I am intrigued about. I don't know if it's going to be, it's kind of Souls-esque or something. This is more of a curiosity for me because I've never found like the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, those types of games. I've always wanted to like them, but I've never been able to be good at them. And I want to know more about this. I want to know if they're going to add any sort of accessibility, difficulty settings. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm nevertheless sort of just curious to see what they do with it. I may or may not check it out, but it just seems something that sounds interesting. So those are some of the games. I know there's tons of them that I really haven't mentioned. Really quickly, just, there's going to be tons of indie games and little surprises that we're going to get. Those are some of my favorite things. Like, oh, there's a new game and it's out today or it's out next month. And you get these on some of the Nintendo showcases. You get these just summer event announcements, or just these little, again, indie titles that come out of nowhere. And those have been some of the more memorable, more fun experiences that I've had in the last few years. So those are the things that I'm really looking forward to. And then on top of that, we have, again, remember I said there's all these retro shooters that have come out, that are coming out. E1M1 has turned, and Twitter and a couple other sites have turned me on to so many games, I can't even keep track of them. I didn't even list probably most of them here, but there is a plethora of these things coming out in the next year or so. We've got Gloomwood, which is kind of a thief style game, or it's like I did a video for the demo that they had out for a little while. Brutal Fate, the guy that does Brutal Doom, he's making his own sort of original, fast-paced, over-the-top, just crazy. I want to know more about that because I love the way some Brutal Doom and Brutal Wolfenstein plays. So bring it on. Hell Hunt. I think I released the video for that demo earlier this year, the early access build. That one is really fun. I love what I played of that, and very much looking forward to seeing what the full version of that's going to be. But that one, kind of more of a darker, like a horror, monsters sort of type of game. But Hell Hunt looks really good. Proteus, that game is out in, I don't know if it's like a demo, alpha, beta, whatever the heck it is, but whatever form it's in right now, it's really good. It's fun. The graphics are great. It's smooth. Plays well. It's kind of got this Doom vibe going for it. It's got a world map. It's got a level editor. All kinds of stuff. So when this full game comes out, absolutely looking forward to the final product of that one. Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. I've done a video for that. What I've played of it looks really good. I'm absolutely going to be playing more of that game. Ultra Kill. This game is just bananas. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you can run, you can dash, and like zoom when you crouch. It's so fast. It's ridiculous. Go watch the video that I did because it looks good. I'm really looking forward to it. There's a game called Lab. I found it on the E1M1 demo disc, and it's kind of a Blake Stone Wolfenstein 3D, somewhere between Doom and Wolfenstein 3D level of kind of level style and presentation. I beat the version that was on the disc. I don't know if that was meant to be just a thing, or if that was kind of just like a demo or something. I really hope that they do add more to it because I genuinely enjoyed it. I played through it in an afternoon, and you know what? It was kind of bright colors. It had it was kind of goofy in some ways, but in a good way. And I enjoyed it. So looking forward to that. And those are the ones that I have listed here for the shooters. But I mean, again, there's so many that I couldn't even remember them all. I wasn't going to go around and try to look them up because we had so much other things to talk about anyway. But just, if you like retro shooters like I do, I've got a whole playlist devoted to them now. There's plenty more to come. There's plenty more to look forward to. So definitely look forward to that next year. Super Mario World theme park. It's coming to Japan in February next year, but they already said it's coming to North America and other parts of the world in the next few years. So there's probably going to be one in Universal, probably California, Florida. And God, when Miyamoto did that tour during this past weekend stream, that was so cool. Like, it was all Mario, but people have found other information that there might be some Donkey Kong stuff there. I hope there's some Zelda stuff in other places. I don't know. But even the Mario stuff, there's just like little mini games and just seeing all the life size going through the pipe at the entrance and Bowser's Castle, the Mario Kart ride, the cafe. I would love to visit those places. So, God willing, I'll be able to eventually, when they come to North America, maybe one day I will get to visit something like that. Yeah, of course, this whole COVID, it's not all about gaming. I'm really looking forward to, like, we're already getting the vaccine starting to come out in North America and around the world in late 2020. There's a bunch of different vaccines that are coming out. It's probably going to take quite a while for it to reach everybody. But, with all this COVID, with all the pandemic, with all the shutdowns, lockdowns, and all the other things that come with it, we are finally, starting to hopefully see the light at the end of the tunnel. 2021, late 2020, we've started with the vaccine is a real thing. So there is hope. There is hope. So I'm curious to see where things are going to be by the end of the year next year. I'm sure there's still going to be some mask stuff, probably. There's still, I don't know if it's going to be able to reach everybody by the end of the year. But I wonder how much things are going to be able to open up. I wonder if people are going to be able to, do business again. If people are going to be able to recover their small businesses. There's a lot of uncertainty about that. What things are going to look like for companies and organizations and government businesses or whatever that are working from home. Are we going to be able to maintain this work flexibility, teleworking? Like I said in earlier videos, I love this, and when I'm not working directly with people, I really do hope that we are allowed this flexibility because, boy, it really helps. I love it. I like working in my own comfortable environment. I really do. There's a lot of pluses I went through in the other video this week about it. So, again, and that would give a lot more opportunities to some people with disabilities who have been lobbying, who have been really rallying for that for years now. But of course, these mainstream businesses are going, no, we have to do this in person. You have to be able to blah, 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 blah. No, as it turns out, we don't. So I just hope that opens up more opportunities for people. Let's see. Yeah, more flexibility. I just talked about that. And, I'm just really curious to see what accessibility and game accessibility are going to be like going forward in 2021. Are we going to, what kind of new games are we going to see? What kind of new tech are we going to see? We're already starting to see a couple of apps experiment with the LiDAR sensor in the new iPhone Pro model, 12 Pro models. As more new phones come out and the prices go down so that more people can access it, what other types of useful accessibility features are we going to see? Are we going to see an augmented reality or mixed reality headset from Apple or other company? We already have the Envision glasses, but ultimately what I want is I'm waiting because I want a pair of glasses, just like if I have a phone, I want a pair of glasses that if I want to use Envision, I can. If I want to use Seeing AI, I can. If I want to use what other apps might happen to come out in the future, I want these glasses or headset or whatever it is, I want it to be an open platform. I'm tired of these proprietary one-off products that get upgraded every couple of years, and it's like, oh, we have this model, you just paid $3,000 to $5,000 for it, or $2,000 to $5,000, $2,000 to $4,000, whatever it is, and then they come out with a new version that has some really nice upgrades, but I'll be damned if I want to pay another $2,000-3,000 or more for it. So, I want this to become I want some device to be out there that'll just say, you know what, supposedly Envision is saying that they want to work with other developers, so we'll see how that actually plays out. But I want to see, like a headset, a VR headset, or some glasses or whatever it is. I want an open platform where I can use whatever augmented reality app I want, just like I can buy an iPhone or an Android phone, and I have a ton of apps that I can use on it. I don't have to say, I can only use this app, and I have to pay a few $1,000s for the privilege. I mean, even things like, again, like your Iris Vision, where it uses this phone, and it uses their app, or you have a tablet that is used as a CCTV, and you're basically buying a Microsoft Surface, but they only let you buy this couple $1,000 app, this combo setup. What if I want to buy a Surface? What if I want to buy another tablet that meets this spec, and I want to put your app on it? What if I want to use other apps in addition to yours? It's just, with all this mainstream accessibility, I'm kind of waiting more for the traditional assistive technology market to kind of catch up more. I mean, they're starting to, because they have to. But, just things being more like open and consumer friendly. We can't just sell to schools. We can't just sell to the government. Sell to people. People want to use. People want to buy this stuff. Not everybody is eligible for vocational rehabilitation services. Not everybody is a student. We've got tons of baby boomers. We've got tons of people aging right now. We've got seniors. We've got loads of people who, just for whatever reason, maybe want to add it to something they already have or can't afford this stuff. So, maybe you can't charge for each individual piece, but if you market it right and you sell to a bunch of people, you make up that in quantity. So, curious to see what that's going to be. I'm really curious to see what game accessibility is going to be, just with things like the Ubisoft and Last of Us and Microsoft games, Sony adding their screen reader to their system. The future for blind and low vision game accessibility is looking better. There is a lot more hope and excitement than there even was a couple of years ago. So, there you go, guys. I'm sure I missed some things, but I've just been rambling through. I made kind of a little list of things to talk about, and I have been rambling through all these videos Christmas Eve. I think I've spent the last 2 to 3 hours or more, probably more. 3-4 hours probably recording these videos, because I wanted to get them. I wanted to do this thing, like a Monday through Friday up to New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I wanted to get these out. So yeah, we covered a lot of stuff in 2020, even more than usual, because I was able to break things up. But anyway, you can pick and choose what you want to watch. You can go through these, just kick back and go through any of these that you want to, all of them. I hope you guys liked the new experiment that we tried for the end of this year. I really, really hope that, again, with this vaccine, we have hope. I pray for everyone's health and safety. I'm just really, again, thankful to have everything that I do have, especially with the things even that that all of us and that I've gone through this year. So here's to a better 2021, and fuck you 2020. That's all there is to say. Fuck you 2020. Go away. It's been not a good year. So there you go, guys. We'll leave it there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Like the videos if you did. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Lots more stuff to come next year. Lots of fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and of course right here on YouTube. So happy holidays, happy new year, and here's to a better 2021, guys. Later.